Hey everybody, and welcome to Nicole Sauce's Thought of the Walk. It is Sunday after a great weekend. Had a great weekend of visitors this weekend, and it is always nice to catch up with people in person. It made me think though, the seasons are changing again. Today it's cooler this morning. I'm out here in a t-shirt still, but probably another couple weeks I'll be taking apart my outdoor shower because it can't go below 32 degrees out there. It freezes, ruins it. And I'll be removing my outdoor kitchen faucet so it doesn't freeze and get ruined. And I'll put up the dishwasher, the event dishwasher for the year. That means the next two events, we just have the dishwasher inside. I do all of that to keep things in functioning order and maintained, and it's because the season is changing. We're going from Hades hot that it gets here in the summer and humidity to a drop in humidity, and then some cool days with some nice cool nights with some nice temperatures during the day, and then it either never gets real cold for the winter because this is Tennessee, or we have 6 weeks of cold. Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 12. Usually it's 3 to 6 weeks of going below freezing at night, maybe not getting above freezing during the day. And I know my friends to the north have zero sympathy for that. But as the seasons change, it's also a good time to reflect on how we need to change ourselves. Because if we just stay static, if we just stayed summer, what would that do? What would that do? That wouldn't give us time to regenerate. I think people look at winter and think it's death. It's a time of death, but that's actually when the regeneration's happening, right? We get into winter, it's more restful, it's darker, more sleep in theory. Not for everybody, but more sleep under the ground. The roots are real slowly developing, but it's the roots, it's where the energy is, so that in the spring they can come back above ground with renewed life. Yeah, people think of winter as death. I see winter as the beginning of life. And we're heading into winter now. What you do to your plants now sets the foundation for them to be able to regenerate as strongly as possible. And that's not so different from ourselves, right? We're heading into what will be the holiday seasons. A lot of people get really busy during this time and celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and solstice, whatever you celebrate. And then we turn the corner. Next thing you know, it's a new year. We say yay. And then there's this 2-month stretch of dark, quiet, cold, blizzards, all of those things. And when that happens, and we don't take advantage of that time, we waste that time. If you take the time now to think, how am I changing? What do I need to improve in my life? What do I need to improve in myself? What do I need to improve in my relationships? How can I put by that little bit of extra? How can I set the foundation for a much better garden? Whether that garden be figurative or literal, how can I make it so the pigs fatten up fast enough? If you start thinking about that now, you'll know that right now you can collect black walnuts and chestnuts and all sorts of things coming out of the trees to feed your animals. It's no different with life. You can start finding those treasures, the treasures that we all have in our lives that set the foundation for improvement. You can start with a renewed commitment to doing that one change that we all need to do. I don't know what your change is. I know what my change is. But to do that one change so that things are better. The change I just did, many of you listened to me talk about getting things done by doing my 3 things, which means you define the 3 do or die things, up to 3. It can just be 1 in a day. The 3 do or die things that move you forward, whether it's in your business, personal, whatever. And they need to link to your big picture vision for your life. And by just doing that and cutting out all the noise, it's amazing what you can do. Well, that's worked for me for years. I'm halfway through writing a book about it. What I realized recently as my business has been growing is my 3 things still fits, but when I plan out what those will be, I need to know what's happening for the rest of the year. I need to know, what's important for the rest of the year, not like what's happening crisis-wise. I need to know what's important that month. I need to know what's important that week. And so I've started making a big list of crap that needs to be done. And once I have that list, that's how I work out my schedules for the day. And now I make sure that by noon, unless there's a reason that it can't be done by noon, my 3 things are done and the foundation is set for the next day in communications, and that instructions have been outsourced, and that I can get going and feel free by the end of the day when things are taken care of. We just had a car go by on the road. That never happens. It's my neighbor's daughter who drives too fast. She comes cruising through here. I'm always afraid she's going to hit me or my dogs. Anyway, I wish she'd slow down. She's a teenager. She needs to figure out that life is important, I guess, or whatever. She thinks she can swerve, but I've also seen her go off the road and almost roll in the creek. So thought that would teach her a lesson. Didn't. Anyway, I do that in the scale of those big picture goals. And when I stick to that plan by noon, because I fast until noon or 1, depending. By noon, I'm ready to stop, and I take a whole hour off in the middle of the day, and I cook food and I eat it at my pace, and I take time to think, and then I'm re-energized for the afternoon by doing this little change. It's a little change, because I used to just get up, do my morning routine, have my 3 things, sit down and just let her rip, and then about 6 o'clock it's time to eat dinner, and boom, where'd the day go? Sometimes I would get to the end of the day, still have my 3 things, because I got distracted. This keeps me from getting distracted, and this one little change is what I'm doing this fall to set the foundation for this winter, when things slow down, when we're getting ready to burst forth in song this spring. I can take advantage of developing my roots and my foundation. I can take advantage of the time I have. I can rest up. I can work on my spirit. I can work on my business. I can work on my relationships. And I know how to make the time for that so that my roots are well developed. Hopefully you can do whatever it is you need to do to change too. It's Sunday, guys. Take yourself a Sunday. Make it a great week.